Hey, it's Lynn Brown. I am a speaker and trainer with the John Maxwell team and also an empowered living coach. And y'all, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I spent the first half of my life people pleasing. And then in my spare time, I was trapped by the opinions of others. I mean, it was like living in a mental prison. I cared more about what other people thought about me. And I never stepped out in faith. I lived in fear. And then one day I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I don't know if anybody's listening, if you've ever felt that, but I was just sick and tired of it. And I took a step in the direction of my dreams. And I bet on myself for the first time ever. And it's so funny. I mean, Wayne Dyer was right. When you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at changed. And it was almost, I'm not going to say my life's perfect. I'm a work in progress, but literally I could see little things begin to change in my life. And so now what I do is I partner with people who want to become better. Now, I'm not saying I don't love all people. I love all people, but I am particularly attracted to the people that want to become better, to do more and have more. And so today I am super excited to introduce to you my friend, Amanda. She is a powerhouse. She is filled with love and fight and just compassion for the world. And she leads her life that way. And so I just want to go ahead and turn it over to Amanda.
Hey, Lynn, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. And that was quite the introduction. You're so sweet.
Well, I'm just super excited to have you here. And I'm so thankful for this time in my life that I'm surrounded by people like you that want to make a difference and
Mhm.
add value to people. So that's why you're on this Greedy Women podcast today, because you are living a life of excellence.
I am. I'm trying. I'm trying it. I have to admit, it's been challenging with everything that's been going on with COVID-19. We have been self-isolating for about 4 weeks now. We've only gone out 2 times to get groceries, and that was me. And I am a social butterfly, and so is my 5-year-old daughter. And so this has been an interesting transition, I have to say, for us. How are you doing in all of it? You doing okay?
Yeah, we're doing good too. And I'm the same way. I am just, I thrive being around people. And,
Mhm.
and so I'm so thankful for the social platform that we have, because if I was just talking to my trees and my dog right now and my husband, I mean, I love him and I love my dog and all that, but I just love people. So it's great to be able to connect with people this way.
Yeah, I was on a call the other day with Terry Greenfield, and he was saying that he feels like we're more connected right now than we've ever been. That they say we're social distancing, but it's really more like physical distancing. A lot of us are, connecting online, and we're connecting with our families and talking to people more than ever because we're not nearly as busy as we usually are. And it's been nice spending more time with our families and, taking a slower pace.
I think you're right. That's such a great point. I love that. We're just physical distancing, not really social. You're right. Because I have taken more time to even pick up the phone sometimes and talk to a person. And I've seen neighbors walking by that I stop and talk to now. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's just really neat. That's a great point. I love that approach.
Yeah, it's I don't know. For me, it's been interesting. I know I said that a little bit, but I kind of struggled at first with the first 4 weeks. There was actually the first 2 weeks. I I was sad, and I think that I was grieving. And I remember I was sitting at my kitchen table, and my husband walked in, and he said that school was canceled for the rest of the year. And I remember I started busting out laughing. Like I threw my head back and I just laughed. And then that quickly turned to just sobbing. And I was so sad. I was so sad for my daughter and for the kids. And then I was scared. And, it's been weird, like going through this grief process of what we're going through. And there's been emotional eating, and there's been, you know, lots of times that I cried in my closet. But I feel like I'm finally shifting to a perspective of acceptance and trying to see the beauty in all of this, and take a step back and spend more time with my daughter, and come up with new weird funny things. Like, we have lunch dates in our car, and we turn the music up and she sings Shake It Off by Taylor Swift, and it's so those moments have really been powerful, I think, in such a trying and hard time for all of us. But
Wow, that's great. And I love that idea. What a fun idea. And I'm sure there are a lot of parents out there right now that are thinking, oh, that's great. We can drive through somewhere today, support a local, restaurant business, and we can just have a picnic in the car and jam out to our favorite song. So that's great.
yes,
And such
yeah.
a great example of self-care. It
Yeah, it's
really
been
is.
really fun. But I have to say, like, I know a lot of people are sad and disappointed, and I am there with you. I'm trying really hard to continue doing positive things, and I'll share one thing that's really helped me, and I call it CLC. It's called Clear the Clutter, and I do it every morning, and I take 2 to 5 minutes and I set a timer, and I start free writing. And it's really weird when you first start doing it, to be honest. It's I'll start out and I'm like, I don't know what to write. And then I'm like, I love my daughter so much. And I start writing my to-do list. And then it turns into like, I don't know how I'm going to get all of these things done today. And it's a lot like, I'll use a quick analogy. For me, it's a lot like uh, decluttering my house. And I do this activity every day, but I don't declutter my house every day. But if I don't clean my house, at least once a week, right? It starts to get a little messy. But if I wait a whole month, then it's in like total disarray. And so I feel like my mind gets like that too. If I don't clear out some of the clutter and some of the overwhelm and, some of the news, I was watching the news so much that I really had to stop, just taking it in all day and check the news to see what was going on, and then just declutter my mind every morning so that I can kind of take a pause and be grateful for things that are positive and that are going great. So I don't know, have you ever done that, like a brain dump, Lynn?
Yes, yes, I have, and I really try every morning to do the same thing, and I think it's the one thing that has kept me moving forward. As I look back over
Mm-hmm.
the last 5 years, that is one habit that I created that was a positive habit. And
Mm-hmm.
but I wrote that down because I love that clear the clutter. I love that
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to remember, and that's a new habit that we can always we can begin to do. And I think habits are so important right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to something yesterday, and they were saying a performance pit stop. So it's just like a habit is a pit stop that you can, either start your day, do mid morning, or do in the afternoon or whatever, but a way to just keep you focused. And like you said, I believe that's what keeps us in that gritty mindset of, number one, being grateful for where
Mm-hmm.
we are,
Yep.
and you can always find somebody else in worse shape than you are. But I love that. I wrote that down. I'm gonna stick that on my wall, and that's gonna be it's gonna be start of my morning. Clear the
Yeah,
clutter.
I think I called it a CLC. Maybe it's a CTC. There we go.
Clear
I
the
messed it up.
clutter.
Clear the clutter.
Yeah, 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 yes,
I think I
yes.
called it a CLC, but a CTC.
UTC, I like that. And yeah,
Yeah.
the other day that some news channel was like, send us a picture of your home office, and I went, ain't doing it.
No
but
way.
but after this, I'm gonna do this in my mind and in my office, and then I
In your
can send my
office.
picture in.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. And so I always like to find out from amazing people, like what are you learning right now?
Oh, that's a good question. So the last the book that I've been reading right now is called Crash the Chatterbox, and it's by Stephen Furtick. And I'm a woman of faith, and so he does talk about God and all of those things. So I'll put that out there. But the premise of the book is is to silence that inner doubt, and to recognize whenever you are getting into that feedback loop of negativity, or that you're kind of spiraling into something, and to shut it down almost, and to find unique ways to be able to shift your mindset even when there is so much chaos or sadness, or you're going through something. And so that's something that I am learning, and that's something that I feel like I am continuing to learn to do, because as I strive for more and becoming a better version of myself, I find that the doubt seems to get louder, and it's very easy for me to fall back into insecurity and question some of the things that I'm doing, or how I'm trying, or just to be very critical of myself. And so that's something that I am learning right now. It's just to like master my mindset. And I don't know that I ever will, but I think that it is super important to to continue to try to keep that awareness, and to realize that, I don't know, I guess that it's always going to be around, because I thought that I had it nailed, and then I realized that I'm still working on it.
Yeah. And I think we're all in that same boat. You know, we're all going to be faced with those moments when
Hmm.
as our mentor Paul tells us, it will never really go away. And but what we do in those moments when we find ourselves there, and the fact that we're even talking about it and we're aware of it, is great, because
Hmm. Yeah.
first half of my life I drifted in that la la land of not even knowing what I was doing. I was sabotaging my life.
Hmm.
So at least
Right.
maybe I'm just trying to make us feel better, but at least we're aware of it, because what you're aware of
Yeah.
you can fix. And I love that. And I am too, also a woman of faith. And as a matter of fact, I was listening to his Easter sermon again this morning, Stephen.
Oh,
If you have not
yes.
heard um, the rattle of resurrection, I
It
believe
was so good.
it was. I mean, I was like working out this morning, and just if somebody was watching me, they probably were thinking, "What is wrong with her?" But I was so alive. I truly felt bulletproof. But
Hmm.
it takes that. It takes that relentless filling your spirit, your heart, your soul, your mind with the good, because like you
Hmm.
said, it's so easy. There's enough of the negative, there's enough news, there's enough of all that to make you
Hmm.
just jump into the Oreo bag and just
Yeah.
stay there forever. So I think it's
Hmm.
so important to get this message out, because there's so many women that contact me that say, well, how do you do this? I mean,
Hmm.
our family, 2 weeks ago, there were 6 people in my family that were diagnosed with COVID.
Hmm.
And people are like, how are you managing this? I'm like, I'm not I'm not really managing it, but I'm filled up. I'm not saying that in an arrogant way, but I'm filled up. And you gotta be
Right.
filled up.
Yeah. And I found that like I'm certain learning to have like specific protocols almost. So when I start to get down, or I see, craziness on the news, and I feel that tension, or I know that I'm getting snappy, there's like certain things that I'll do. I'll do the a brain dump, right? I'll write, or I'll go for a walk, or I'll, shut my phone. I'll put my phone away for a couple hours and just, breathe for a minute. Sometimes I'll meditate, sometimes I'll pray. I have this list of things. Sometimes I listen to music. Like this morning, I was nervous about coming on. And so I was jamming out to The Blessing by Carrie
Oh,
Joe,
I love
Elevation
it.
Church,
Yes.
right? And it helped me kind of shift my mood a little bit. And so in these times, I feel like none of us are going to have perfect days, great days every day. Like we're all going to go through these roller coasters. And to be honest, we had two family members that were diagnosed with COVID as well. And they were both in the hospital, and it was really scary.
Hmm.
Um, and, and it's just, I think we're riding this wave together, but we can have things in place that can help us shift or move to a better mindset if we need to at least help a little bit, or just cry in your closet. That's what I do sometimes, and
That's
then I feel
exactly
better.
right. That's right. And it's okay. And we have to. How are your family members, by the way? Are they
They're good.
doing well?
Yep. They're
Good.
back home. Back home,
Good.
my aunt had ended up having pneumonia, and so it got
Wow.
really scary for a minute. But they're both back home. They had great care and quarantined, and so So
Good.
we're grateful, really
Yes.
grateful for that.
That's
It was,
great news. So glad to hear that
yeah.
great news.
Thanks.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's so good. And so yeah, we have to be easy on ourselves. We be gentle
Mm-hmm.
on yourself. Those days when you run in the closet and you cry, it's okay. It's
Right.
okay. You
Mm-hmm.
eat too many chips or you do whatever, it's okay. The world's not going to end. We just have
Right.
to be easy on ourselves. We got to give ourselves some grace because we
Mm.
are human beings. And
Yeah.
but we know where our help comes from, and we know how if you ever need to send me a text or a message or whatever, please do. That's
Yeah.
what we're here for. And
Mm-hmm.
I cannot thank you enough for just giving us sacrificing your time today to speak to our gritty women movement. And that's it. I want every woman in the world to be able to feel empowered, like
Mm-hmm.
you've talked about, even though we have weak moments. But I want us to be an encouragement. And today you've encouraged me so much
Oh,
just
thank
by
you. Thank
taking
you.
time to be on this gritty women podcast that is a work in progress. But thanks again for that. And I always like to just toss out a little challenge.
Okay, I'm ready.
You ready? You ready for it?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready, girl.
Okay. And hey, and your daughter, she would probably love to do this too, but just grab an old notebook around the house. It doesn't have to be anything fancy,
Mm-hmm.
and just start maybe just with 7 things a day. And I know you
Mm-hmm.
already make your list. You do your list that you start every day, but just be very intentional about leaning into the things that you're thankful for. And maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
just coffee or I don't know, your
A
favorite,
house.
yeah, your
Yeah.
house, your closet, I don't know.
Yeah.
But and get her to think about that too, because it's such a neat thing to look back in 30 days. When you look back and you see those things, that
Mm-hmm.
you're grateful for, it takes a lot of that anxiety away. And for me personally, it's taken any shame or guilt or anything like that I've ever had in my life. It has totally just destroyed it. So I always like to toss that
Yeah.
out. It's an easy thing to do, and it's an easy thing not to do, but
Yeah.
it's had a big impact.
I
Knowing
well,
you, I bet you do it.
I will do it. I accept your challenge.
All right, all right. And also too, I know you have a podcast too, and I'd love to
I
for
do.
you to give us the link, or I can share it in a post also. But what is the name of your podcast?
So the podcast is called the Raise Up Podcast, and it's all about helping undervalued employees get a pay raise. And we bring on executives and directors and HR people to talk about the tips and tricks and different things that people can do in order to increase their pay over the lifetime of their career. And it's really exciting. Like today, I'm going to interview a guy from Ripley's, believe it or not. He's been there for a long time. It's going to be, I'm nervous, girl. I'm so
That is
nervous.
so awesome.
But
That is
I'm
so great.
really excited. He's got some cool stories, and so it should be a lot of fun. But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
you can check us out. We're on Apple and Stitcher and Spotify and all the places.
Oh,
And
that's so awesome. We'll
yeah,
certainly do it. And somebody just popped in my brain. I'll send you their name as a person that would be
okay.
awesome.
Oh
Yeah, she
yeah,
just popped in my head. So I'll send you, she'll be great for a guest on your podcast. But way to go on that. Have a
thank
great
you.
day. Enjoy
You too.
your lunch date today if you get in the car and go do
Thank you.
that. And I'm gonna start doing that. That sounds fun. So
It
anyway,
is.
thank
It's
you
nice.
again for everything. And
Yeah.
I know that I'm gonna be jumping off and jumping right on to Mike Kim's training on the empowered
Nice.
living, because that's going to be great today. So
Hmm.
anyway, I will chat with you soon. Take care. Hey, all you greedy women out there, or men, if you're listening, we love you, believe in you, and we'll see you next time. So thank you so much.